Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk. So this was my remit. Practical ways psychometrically robust PROMS can strengthen trust, capture subtle change signals and support co-monitoring. This is what we mean by a patient-reported outcome measure. It's a self-report questionnaire with questions and response opportunities, and a person chooses the most apt response for them. These then provide a form of assessment from which we score them, and that provides us with a number which is intended to be a measurement. I think there's a real simplicity. Psychometrically robust instruments can be unbelievably helpful, and they can help you as MSers to identify, clarify and articulate your MS-related experiences in a way that then enable you to A, contextualize them with others, and B, transfer that information in a structured format to your clinicians. They give you the opportunity for being prepared for clinical interactions. They should facilitate communication and understanding between people with MS and clinicians, and that should enhance rapport and trust, theoretically. They provide HCPs with structured information and clinical management tools, and I'll try and show you a potential example of that can guide input. They provide methods for self-monitoring that can be used by people, and that information can be gathered and used by clinicians and then grouped and analysed in terms of studies and clinical trials. So why doesn't this happen? And why did that survey from the Global PROMS Initiative identify so few examples? For me, I think there are three issues. I don't think we yet have the inherent culture to facilitate this, and perhaps that's because some of the exemplars don't actually exist yet. But this is one of the things that the Global PROMS Initiative is trying to change. I don't think clinical services are set up for this type of approach yet. Obviously, I can only give my experience from the UK, but I would say in the UK, we are not set up for the type of areas we need to be moving into. And I don't think we currently have the tools available, because neither the value nor the magnitude of the issues and the problems is fully appreciated yet. And when people don't fully appreciate they have a problem, then of course it is underestimated and it doesn't get supported. I think it's worth kind of talking a bit about what we mean by psychometrically robust things, because the words reliable and valid are used very frequently. They are misused and abused and very misunderstood. It's a very, very complicated issue. Psychometrics is a science steeped in history. It started before Charcot described MS in the 1860s. It's steeped in complex stats, which is why it's difficult for people to understand and apply, but it is profoundly valuable when used, but it's not used. These are methods that were developed in the 60s that are not used in pivotal clinical trials for reasons that are yet to be fully explained. But for me, the main unmet need is the quality of the qualitative research required to put us in this position. Why? Because most of the qualitative research that we've done has been relatively superficial in terms of wanting to be able to capture subtle changes and differences. So single time point interviews with people with MS give you limited information. There is a need for very detailed, longitudinal qualitative work to build the rapport and the understanding between the people with MS and the people trying to turn their words into formal articulations. Surprisingly, we very infrequently use the words and phrases that people use about their experiences, and particularly in terms of change. And we really don't make the most of the opportunities offered by this measurement science going on in the background. And it's a tandem working of iterative work, of qualitative work, of examinations using the underpinning measurement science methods, feeding back to an understanding to develop the qualitative work further. It's very labour intensive, it's detailed, it's not simple, and it's expensive. This is an assessment of 12 different symptoms with ambiguous response options. Different people interpret differently, it's not couched in people's terminology. If we just do some detailed qualitative work, and through the Smouldering Associated Worsening Index study, supported by Sanofi, this is a structure, a framework of information derived about one of those symptoms, for which we ask a simple question about your walking: mild, moderate, very mild, severe, very severe, not at all. This is more of an unpicking and structuring of information. It provides you actually with an evaluation tool, it provides you with a clinical management tool, and it provides you with a measurement tool. The other thing is the use of people's terms of how their symptoms are. So in the work we've been doing, veering while walking is a common symptom that people mention. And these are the types of terminologies that they use for the problems that they have. And the point is to show you there's lots of them. They're couched in their terminology. It's not mild, moderate, severe, very mild, moderate, very moderate, moderate, and not at all. It's in people's terminology. But there's a whole load of work that goes on following this to then try and structure them and use them appropriately. So in summary, I do believe fundamentally that psychometrically robust instruments offer huge opportunities to build trust, develop the subtle changes, and facilitate co-monitoring. But to do that, we've got some planks of work to do. We have to change the culture of the clinico-MSer relationship, turn it into an active working partnership. There are a number of clinicians in the audience here who will be doing that already to a certain degree, but I think that we really need to fundamentally change how we are. We need to develop the instruments to provide the platform, and we need to really use these scientific methods that are available and get them used routinely. And we hope, and I think we believe quite strongly, that the SOAR Index project will help us to advance in this area and begin to demonstrate some of these potentials that I hope will help contribute to the change that is required to meet the needs of the MS community, both from the patient perspective and the clinical perspective. Thank you.